let me get to it then, because I'll be honest with you. When I first heard the quote, it is provocative. That is for sure.
Yes.
Okay. And I was kind of trying to figure out what is Durant saying. So can you sum up what Durant was saying based in the context and provide, if there is a proper context that folks lose when they retell the story and recount his quote, Rick?
Well, I think what KD was saying is that it's not just the media attention. He was specific in terms of the fan, or in his words, the fanboys in the media. The media that idolizes LeBron and presents him in that light. And that creates an environment, and toxic, I don't know if that's the greatest word to use here. It is a provocative word for sure, but it creates an atmosphere for any other player coming into it that is uncomfortable, because now you are in the realm of a person who is being perceived or being presented as beyond reproach, as everything that he does is great. And if you're the supporting cast, or you're the other superstar, what that ultimately means is if things aren't great, well, it's not going to be on LeBron. It's going to be on everybody else. And that, I believe, is the environment that KD was referencing. So I don't know how hard it would have been. And he says, in the complete quote is, it's not LeBron's fault. He says that directly. So he's not putting it on LeBron. He's putting it on this idolization of LeBron and the coverage of him in that light that creates an atmosphere that can be troublesome for anybody else who decides to step into it.
Okay, so then let's take it one piece at a time here, because him coming to Los Angeles is a big thing. I mean, let's not get each other here. He is one of the most famous athletes on the planet, in any sport. Absolutely, you could say he's the most famous American athlete, and that includes baseball and national football. Like internationally, most famous American athlete on planet Earth is LeBron James, coming to Los Angeles, California, to play for the Tiffany franchise. That is the Los Angeles Lakers. And then you look at the 15-9 record and all the statistics. The only statistic of any possible metric, offensively or defensively, that LeBron James is not leading for the Lakers right now is block shots, because that's JaVale McGee. Okay. Right. So when you're talking about the Lakers, you have to talk about LeBron James, period, end of story. And why would that be viewed as fanboying, Rick?
It's not. Well, and
that's the thing I don't kind of get.
Well, this is the greater context. For me, I don't believe, and KD says elsewhere, that, we're just playing basketball. And I think if all the questions were just about basketball, that he would have less of an issue with it. But it has become, because let's face it, I mean, it's my story got a huge reaction, in part because I had guys on the record, but in large part because it's about LeBron. It's about LeBron. Anything that you do when it comes to LeBron, he has fed our industry like no other athlete. And so now, if you can get LeBron's thoughts on anything on the planet, that is going to generate clicks. Why? Because what he has to say is important, or because he's so polarizing that everybody just wants to know. And so I just believe that for KD, and this is part where I tend to agree with him, we don't need to ask LeBron's opinion on everything. Yes, it generates attention. Yes, it generates news. Yes, it generates clicks. But can we have a modicum of self-restraint as the media and not make it as if everything needs to be put on that plate? Because what happens is there is a residual that now that whether you are commenting or not commenting, you're not looked at as in the same light. And I will say this. When it comes to Kevin Durant, I also believe that this has a lot to do with where he is in his life and his career. In terms of, he's still a single guy. As far as I know, he's not in a committed relationship. He's just a young single dude who wants to play ball. And if you present him an atmosphere that interferes with that or looks like it gets a little more complicated than that, then he doesn't want any of it. There was another question I was asking him just about being in L.A. or, and that aspect of it. And he said very quickly, he goes, it doesn't matter where we have so much money. It doesn't matter where we live. That's not an issue. And I was thinking, that's the opinion of a single guy. If you're married, if you have kids,
that's right.
Where you're living, where you're like all of that has an immense significance to making a move.
Oh, and if he likes certain furniture and he likes certain things on the wall, I mean, wait till he's in a committed relationship. That's all gone too, Rick. I mean, let's not, please.
As soon as I met my wife to be, we had she suggested that we have a yard sale, and I said great because we had a lot of duplicative stuff. It was all my stuff that was in the yard. So, yes, I know exactly what
Well, Rick, you know my wife, Susie, in my house, there is one chair that I brought into our relationship that still exists. That's it.
Wow.
No.
You got a chair.
No.
You got a chair.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.